Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ebose Oswide and I'm the founder of Ebose Africa and SWE, which is Sewing with Ebose. And in this video I'm going to be showing you how to grade a basic blouse. As you can see here, I've already graded the front and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to be showing you what I did here. I'll do the same at the back. So that's I'm going to use the back as an example to show you what I did in the front. So before I even go, what's grading? Grading is simply increasing or decreasing the size of a pattern. And before we can grade, we need our size chart. So you can see we have size 8, size 10, size 12, and 14 and 16. And you can increase, but these are the 5 sizes I'm going to be working with today. So my size 10 is in red because it is my sample size. That's the size of the block I'm going to be using. Let me quickly get that. That's the size of the block I'm going to be using, the size 10. Or this, not the block, the size of the design I'm going to be using. Because you don't only grade blocks, you can grade any design you create. So this is the size of the pattern I'm going to be grading, the size 10. So that's why this is in red. So I'm going to decrease and increase the size of this pattern just like I did here. So before we start grading, we need to know our allocated grade, and you can only get that by looking at your size chart. As you can see in this size chart, we have size 8. Let's start with the bust. Our size 8 is a bust 36, size 10 is a bust 38, 12, 40, 42, and 44 as follows. So one thing you can notice between the sizes is that they are 2 inches larger than each other, or 2 inches less than each other. So that means our allocated grade. So since our allocated grade is 2 inches, we have to incorporate these 2 inches into each size as we are doing our grading. So now this is the total grade. Yeah, I think I misused the words. This is the total grade between each sizes. Then the allocated grade, because you're going to put in these 2 inches both front and back, and the patterns are in quarters, so we're going to be dividing these 2 inches by 4. So it's going to be 2 divided by 4, which is going to give us ½ inch. So ½ inch is our allocated grade. ½ inch is our allocated grade. So we are going to be putting in ½ inch in our pattern. So let me get everything ready and for us to start grading our pattern. So now I've traced out our pattern for the back, which is our size 10. Let me label it center back. So I've traced out our center back for size 10, and we are going to increase this to 12, 14, 16, and reduce down to the next size by 8 inches. But what I will just do now, I'll show you how to reduce it to this to size 8 and how to increase it to a size 12. So previously we determined what our total grade was, which was 2 inches. Let me use something bolder. Our grade was 2 inches, and then we determined the allocated grade. Let me put it, total grade is 2 inches, allocated grade was ½ inches. And how we got ½ inches, we divided 2 inches by 4, and because our pattern is in quarters, so we have to divide our total grade by 4 to get our allocated grade, which is ½ inches. So now the side seam of each pattern is going to be greater than the other by ½ inch. on the pattern. So before we can start grading, there's two things we need. We need fixed points. We need our vertical fixed point and then our horizontal fixed point. So in this pattern and this type of grading that I do, our center back or center front is our vertical fixed point. So I labeled both here and here 0. Let me extend this. So these are vertical fixed points. And then our horizontal fixed point is our chest. Without fixed points, grading is going to be very difficult, because we need to not only increase the pattern in width, we have to increase the pattern in length also. So the vertical fixed point helps increase in length. I said vertical. The horizontal fixed point helps increase the pattern in length, while the vertical fixed points help increase the pattern in width. So there's a method to the madness. If you don't understand now, you understand as I continue. Just follow and stick with me. So the next thing in grading too, there are different points where increments are going to take place, and these points are at the end of the neck here, at the end of the shoulder, at the chest, at the armhole, at the hem here. You can also put at the waist, but it's not as important. If the waist was the hem, you treat it the same way you treat the hem. So increments are going to take place at all these points. So increment is going to go up and go out. To be straight, increments at this point are going to go up and go out. That's all the parts that are not fixed. Then this will go up and go out. This goes down and goes out, down and goes out. Oh, there's something I didn't mention. So now our horizontal fixed point is at the chest, and I said it helps in lengthening of the pattern. So anything above the chest, that's above the horizontal fixed point, increases, and anything below the horizontal fixed point moves this way. So it goes in this direction like this, away from the horizontal fixed point, while the vertical fixed point, everything moves away from it. So there's nothing on this other side, so all patterns are, all the increments are going this way. So because this is in the middle of the pattern, kind of, so all increments go away from the fixed point. So these fixed points act as a control in increment and decrease of the pattern. So let's go to our points where increments are going to take place. So because these points now are located above the horizontal fixed points, increment is going to go up and out, while those below the horizontal fixed point is going to go down and out. So I think I'll just start and show you. Let me use this to hope this is not going to block anything, just to keep the pattern from falling. So now I'm going to put the lines for increment on all these points, and the line I'm going to put now has to be perpendicular to the center back. So I try and line it up with one of the lines on my ruler here. That's why this is called the grading ruler. It's very useful for grading. I line it up here and make sure it's perpendicular to that line and straight. So I'll put a line here. I come again and I put another line here. increment is going to happen here, so there's already a line. At the armhole, I align, making sure it's perpendicular to the center back. I put a line here. At the hem, I also put a line perpendicular. So now that we've put our lines for our increment points, what system of increment are we going to use in each of these points? Let's start from the one that we know, or the basic one. Each pattern is wider than each other by the allocated grid, which is ½ inch. So each is going to increase or decrease by ½ inch. So at the armhole, patterns, like I said before, is going down and out. You're going to go down. Let me use a darker marker. You're going to go down here by 1/8 of an inch and out by ½ an inch. That is for the armhole. So when you come to this place now, whatever happens here is always half of what happens in this place. Just in case your size chart is the allocated grid for your size chart, let's say you have 36 here, then you have 40 here, you determine your allocated grid. Your allocated grid is 4 inches, so that means 1 inch is your allocated grid here. So your total grid here is 4 inches, and then divided by 4, your total grid will be 1 inch. So if you are going to increase your armhole, it's going to be half of 1 inch. But now we're going to use half of ½ inches, which is going to come out here 1/4 inch. So anything coming out here is 1/4 inch. There is no increase, there is no up and down, it's just going up because this is a fixed point. The next increment here, we are going out 1/4 inch and up, where do I position this? Up 1/8 of an inch. At this point, you are going up 1/8, out 1/8. At this place now, you're going out ½ inches, down 1/4 of an inch. Oops, what's an inch? 1/4 of an inch. So that's about everything. It's just to show you how to merge the whole thing together now. That's left. So let's reduce this pattern. Let's take it from a size 10 to a size 8. So now these arrows I showed now is for increasing the pattern. The arrows will go in opposite direction to reduce the pattern. So increasing this pattern here for the high neck point is taking it out 1/8. So to reduce it, we are going to come in 1/8 of an inch and down and down 1/8 of an inch. So I have that point there. I don't know if that is clear on the camera. Let me use red. You dot it right there. So the next place is the end of shoulder. So for increments, you are going out, but since you are reducing, we are coming in 1/4 of an inch and going down 1/8 of an inch. So I'll just mark that spot red. So increment on the fixed point, we'll move this fixed point now, is going out 1/4. So since we are reducing the pattern, we are going to come in 1/4 of an inch. So I'll use my red to mark this point. Now, for the armhole, which is also like the side seam, we are going to come in 1/2 inch because increment is out, so we are coming in for reduction, and then up 1/8 of an inch because down is for increasing the size. So I'm going to put a red dot here. Here we are going in 1/2 inch, and we are coming up 1/4 of an inch. The same thing at the hem, in 1/2 inch, up 1/4 of an inch, and at this corner we'll come up 1/4 of an inch. So we'll put in all our dots that we need for reduction. So all we are going to do now is join all these dots together, and dot to dot, size it. Passing through each dot. Let me join all the straight lines first, then we'll join the curves later. So I've joined all our straight lines. So to join the curves, I like to use the original pattern to join them, so that it just turns out better than trying to use a curve to join those points. So I just position the edge of the old pattern, which is like this. I take it up and try and match to the point here. Obviously it's going to be longer upwards, but I just try and match, and then I trace along until I get to that point. So we have one side of the armhole completed, and then because putting it like this is obviously longer, I will bring that down again. I position it here and position it to pass through that point again, and then we connect. You have to be careful. So we have our armhole fully installed, and then we can complete the neck. The neck just vanishes at 0 here. So all I'm going to do now is put the end of our neck at that dot and just blend it to 0, and that's our neck. Adjust it properly, and then we'll connect to 0. So this, you can see the pattern has come in and gone in, like gone in horizontally and come in vertically. So we can, one thing I haven't done yet, the waist now is 1/4 inch higher. So you can label this 8, which is our size 8. So now we are going to do our size 12. That is, we're going to increase this pattern to the next size. So now we are going to increase from a size 10 to a size 12. So I use red for the size 8, so let's use blue for size 12. I like to use different colors just in case you need to trace things out. You don't go and, because all the lines are interlocking, you go and trace on a wrong pattern. That can be really disastrous. So as we did before, we start from our high neck point. Now that we are increasing, we are going to follow the initial arrows we put in the beginning. So we are going to come out an 8 from size 10. Come out an 8, and we go up an 8. And then I would mark down my blue at the shoulder point. Will come out from size 10, shoulder points a quarter, and go up an 8. And we can mark the blue so we know all our points, because all these points we're going to connect. From our size 10, here we go out a quarter. Since it's the fixed point, we are not going up or down. On our armhole / side seam, you're going out ½ inch and down 1/8 of an inch. Remember, for our size 8, so we're grading our size 8, we went in ½ inch and up an 8. So we are doing the exact opposite for increasing the size. So down here now, we'll go out ½ inch, and then we come down a ½ inch. Mark that blue. We'll come down here again a ½ inch. Mark that blue. So we've put in all our points for our size 12. We can't see them now, so we are just going to keep connecting all our blue dots. Let's start from here. Make sure you align very well, because accuracy is key in grading. Join that. As usual, we are joining all our straight lines, then we use our pattern to join the curves. Side seam in, shoulder in. So now we are going to take our pattern and join our curves. So we're starting with the armhole. We'll put the end of the armhole at this point and try and swing it to touch it at the chest, and then we can connect here. One part of the armhole is in, and then just like we did again, we'll connect it at the top, matching it to the chest, and we join. Our armhole is fully drawn in. So what's left now is our neckline. So I'll align the neckline here. Make sure it's aligning properly, no mistakes, and then we connect. The waist, I just come down from size 10 1/4 of an inch. So now we have our size 12. So this is how you grade a pattern. Pretty easy. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll try my best to reply and answer all your questions. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.